Hey everyone, good evening. Gonna do a pork belly. We're kind of eating out of the freezer, so we're kind of making use of the ingredients that we have. And we got about a 3.5 pound pork belly here. And I wanted to make this up in this sous vide because a friend of mine, a friend of ours, Jessica, suggested we do a pork belly. So we're gonna do this thing Asian style, so hopefully she'll recreate it and her and Ryan can have a good time doing that. So the way I do my Asian pork belly, of course, is I kind of take recipes that I've learned over the years and then I just add things that I like to put in them. So we got the pork belly in the bag, so before we vacuum pack it, we're gonna do some cooking liquid that will cook in there. We're gonna do it at 165 for about 20 hours. So we'll be coming back tomorrow night and finishing this stuff off with a glaze, and then you'll see the final product then. So I have a cup of soy sauce and a tablespoon of brown sugar in this bowl here. And one of my tricks, which you're usually not gonna see, is I'm gonna take a teaspoon of gram masala, which is kind of an Indian spice, and I'm gonna use that. So a teaspoon of that. And then we're gonna put some of our liquids in here, or I should say our wet ingredients. So I'm gonna do two tablespoons of garlic, if I can get it open here. So we're gonna go 2 tablespoons of garlic. Of course it'll give me trouble here. That's close enough. And then we're gonna go 2 tablespoons of sesame oil. We're going to do a teaspoon of ginger. Oh, that was a tablespoon, so let me put off that a little bit. All right, that's about a teaspoon. And then we're gonna take some sweet chili sauce, and we're gonna do a tablespoon of that as well. And then we're just gonna mix that together. I just opened this bottle, so it might, there we go. We're gonna take this, we're gonna mix it together. Just get all of it kind of roughly mixed in there. So Kelly always laughs because I'm not the tidiest person when I cook. So she's the cleaner. So I usually get stuff all over the place. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take this over to the sink and I'm gonna put this cooking liquid in the bag, like so. There we go. I'm just gonna take that, and then we're gonna seal this up with the food saver, and we'll be back.
Okay.
All right, so we got our pork belly vacuum sealed, and we got that cooking liquid that we just put together inside of it. And now we're just gonna take this and we're gonna throw it in the sous vide. Super simple. Ooh, a little bit of a spill there. Not being too careful, like I said. And we're gonna cook this at 165 for about 20 hours. And then we're gonna pull it out and we're gonna make the rest of our recipe. And it's gonna be yummy, yummy.
Hi everyone, we are here
Hey everyone.
to do a simple pho soup. We don't have all the ingredients because we're still quarantined. So Jim's gonna just go over all this because I don't do well when it comes to ingredients. I just mix it.
Yeah. And eat it. You love pho soup like I do.
I do.
You like the chicken version now.
I like the chicken.
So guys, as you see, we're doing a pork belly in this sous vide. It's almost done. I'm going to take that out later so you can see how I'm going to put that under the broiler. And I'm going to crisp up the skin and the process for doing that. So, as Kelly said, we love the Vietnamese pho soup. I don't have all the ingredients I need, and usually you have to do the broth like all day long. So, usually you roast fresh ginger and you roast an onion or a shallot. So I did roast 2 shallots off that I'm gonna put in the recipe. And I'm just gonna use the regular ginger, which is gonna be about half of a teaspoon. And I'm gonna use about a half a teaspoon of garlic as well. Modifying this, I know 1/8 of a teaspoon is kind of hard to find those 1/8 of a teaspoons, but you just take your 1/4 teaspoon and measure about half. So I'm going to use an 1/8 of ground cloves, which you usually use whole. I'm going to use an 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cardamom, which you usually use a pot or two. I'm going to crush the star anise up, and as you can see, you can get these in any supermarket. They got that nice anise flavor. So it's not going to take on too much of the soup with the amount of time we got to cook it, but it'll still be a nice addition. We're going to put some mushrooms in the soup at the end. I also have some kind of cinnamon bark, so I'm going to throw in 1 or 2 of these. And then I'm going to soft boil 2 eggs for 6 minutes, and that's going to finish off the soup as well. And then we're going to have an 1/8 teaspoon of coriander powder as well. Usually it would be coriander seeds if you're doing it for like an all-day stew on the broth. For the soup itself, I've got 2 cups of water that we're going to boil, and then we're going to use the rice noodles. So I'm just going to make, like, for 2 cups, I'm going to use about a quarter of this package right here. But you could eye it up. The more noodles, the better. Or if you don't like noodles that much, you don't have to worry about it. But one important thing is we're going to boil these separately and then cool them down, because if you put them in with the soup, your soup's going to get kind of gummy and a little bit starchy, like pasty, right? So that's one good thing. For the pho seasoning itself, because we're not doing it from scratch, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm going to use these pho cubes, which you could pick up anywhere. So 1 cube to 2 cups of water, and you'll get a great taste out of this. And then we'll finish off the soup, and we'll be back.
Sounds good. All right. Hi everyone, we are back.
We are back.
Yep, and you forgot the most important ingredient.
I forgot 2 things.
Actually, you forgot the
brown sugar.
The brown sugar. Just goes to show you do need me.
I do.
You know, I'm the sweetest end of the stick.
So we need about a teaspoon of that. So you could just throw that in the pot. We just threw all the ingredients in together for the soup. I'm going to put the garlic and ginger in next. And we're going to start, we got some water boiling. So we're going to do 6 minutes for the soft boiled eggs.
Okay.
Alexa, start the timer for 6 minutes. She does come in handy a lot.
6 minutes, starting now.
So the other thing we did is I just sliced this shallot up, which we're going to put in the pan. And then Kelly and I pulled the pork belly out of the sous vide, and it's literally just falling apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and I'm going to stab all this fat. So you could have some fun. Kelly, I think you might want to do this. You could think that it's me. And while Kelly's doing that, you can just hit like the top of the fat. There you go. You don't have to go into the meat. So I am wearing some Sam the Cooking Guy merchandise tonight, or merch. So Sam the Cooking Guy is like this awesome guy that's been doing food videos for years and years, and he's huge on YouTube right now. So I've been watching him even before there was YouTube. I think he started in like 2001, but he's always been on the internet, and he's fantastic, and his stuff is just to die for. So he does have some merchandise, and we picked up some. So I got the Vote for Lewis, which is the
proceeds.
Which is his dog that they rescued, and the proceeds go to the PAWS program out in California. So so if you're interested in some decent looking merch that's kind of a little different, a little artsy, go ahead and check it out. And I'll put the link in the bottom, so
I like it.
So you can just look for it under there. And also, please subscribe, folks, if you can. We are enjoying doing these videos, and we'll get better and better as we go along. And we're not quarantined, so we can actually buy the stuff that we need. We probably could now, but why chance it, right?
Right.
So, so please keep watching the videos, tell your friends, and we're having a blast doing it. Thanks. So you hit all the pork belly up?
I did.
Okay. So I'm going to add that the ginger and garlic to the broth that we're making right here.
Yep.
And we got some ice water for the eggs for when they come out, and then we'll peel them, and that's going to lay on top of the soup. And then we're going to get this pork belly underneath the broiler to crisp up that skin. So we're going to put it under the broiler for about 20 to 25 minutes. And you can use your judgment when it's to your liking to pull it out. All right? We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Anything?
No.
We good?
What are you gonna do with the mushrooms and?
The mushrooms, oh, these are gonna go in at the end. So the mushrooms
Oh,
and shallot.
okay. At
It
the
is,
end.
like mushrooms aren't traditionally in pho soup, but
Right.
like I said, we're kind of doing the gym modified version. And let's face it, if the soup sucks, we're pretty much not gonna, you're never gonna see this video. So we'll see if it turns out good.
Yeah.
All right?
It smells good so
Yeah,
far.
it smells good. All right, guys, thanks.
Alrighty.
Soft boiled eggs. So we pulled them out. And we have them here, and then we're just gonna peel them in a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do also, so we've had the broth boiling for about 8 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a strainer, because that star anise really takes on a strong taste. And you can taste it as you go when it's the right flavor. And we're just gonna strain this into another pot. So we'll leave all these, the bark and the star anise in there. And what we did is I made a little modification, again, since we're modifying tonight.
Yep.
I added a teaspoon of Better Than Bouillon beef, roasted beef flavor, just to take on a little bit more of flavor in there. The 1 cube just wasn't enough. So we're just gonna take this in and we're just gonna let it simmer until we're ready to eat. So you just turn it on low and just let this simmer away here.
Okay.
And I'll
Now
put all
what about
the
waters?
ingredients, I'll put all the ingredients as well in the video. So it sounds like it's a lot of ingredients, but it's actually pretty simple.
It's very simple.
You just throw the stuff in a pot and let it boil, strain it, and then you're good to go.
My kind of meal.
Exactly. Okay?
Simple.
The pork belly is in the broiler, and now we're gonna get the water prepared so we can boil the noodles. Thanks.
Sounds good.
Hey guys, we're back, and again, just to mention that we're doing a modified pho soup, but I could tell you that it's gonna be super delicious already.
Yes.
So the normal accompaniments with pho is basil, cilantro, mint leaves, bean sprouts, lime, and what am I missing, Kel? I'm sure I'm missing something that somebody will call out on me.
Something that we don't have
Yeah, and
here
usually
other than the lime.
Usually some hoisin sauce. So I wanted to show you that our soft-boiled eggs, which aren't usually in pho, came out perfect, okay?
Look at them.
It's beautiful. We do have some lime and green onions that we're gonna put in. So guys, I took a taste of the pork belly. This thing's falling apart. And don't get scared by the sous vide, because if you wanna do this in the oven, just follow the instructions and throw it in the oven at around 250 to 275 for about 8 hours and keep checking on it. We pulled this out after about 15 minutes because the skin was nice and crisped up, but this thing is just falling apart. Like, as you could see, it is just like butter. And let me tell you, it is delicious. So pork belly is basically bacon that hasn't been cured with the typical bacon spices. And you could pair this with anything, some nice fried rice. You could do any other vegetable you want, but I can assure you that this will be one of the best things that you ever taste if you've never had pork belly before. And Kelly really doesn't eat it, but I will probably eat half of this thing myself. So our noodles are cooking now. Our soft-boiled eggs look great. 6 minutes in boiling water. And we're gonna use, we're also gonna use some hoisin sauce as well, just to finish off. I like hoisin sauce in my soup when we go to the Vietnamese restaurant. So I think we got everything covered.
We do.
The broth is tasting delicious.
The broth is really, really, really good. Here we go.
Guys, so we are back and we're gonna build the bowl. I used about a quarter pack of those noodles that I showed you, but again, you can use as many as you want. Then we ran them under cold water, and now I'm gonna just build the soup around the bowl. So, we're going to take our broth, and this broth is just, if you could smell it, it's just unbelievable. So, we thought too that the other modification to the soup at the end or I should say the accoutrement at the end, is jalapeno peppers. If you like a little spice, you could put them in as well.
Yeah, it actually adds it. I like it.
So
I
here's
usually
that.
add like 1 or 2.
And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start to build this up. I'm gonna take a lime and squeeze that in, just a little quarter lime. I'm gonna take a slice of jalapeno because I'm not a huge fan of jalapeno. And then we're gonna dress this with some green onions. I like a lot of green onions. It's one of my favorite. And then we're gonna take our eggs and we're gonna put them in. Those little floaters here. Let's see, it's like on a sinking ship. And then we're gonna take our pork belly, which I literally can't stop eating. We're gonna take our pork belly and we're just gonna lay it in. Clearly I like a lot of it. And then what we're gonna do is we're just going to dress this with some hoisin sauce. And also, if you like sriracha, you could put that in, or any other type of chili oil, etc. So there you have it. We got our modified pho soup, but again, you don't have to make soup. You could take that pork belly, and I'm telling you, you want to make some friends, check out that pork belly recipe, and you will be in love. That is so good. I can't even explain it. So please try it. Some off ingredients, but everything came together perfectly. Okay guys, I hope everybody's staying safe out there. And please subscribe to our channel. We're having a
See ya.
blast. See ya.